Hi, everybody. So I just wrapped up an interview with a reporter. He's a political reporter with the Epic Times, and we just kind of kept it straight. We didn't sort of rant and rave. And as you know, I am one for ranting and raving, but I did a straight up interview just to sort of just calm down and talk about the facts. But the fact is that knowing me, I have to bring some emotion forward, some emotion into this, because I was just thinking, he's resigned and he says that he cares about people, but on the same token, he's still there. We still have him. I mean, we don't know when the election is going to be called, whether it's going to be in the spring or the summer or the fall or whatever. And he still has the supreme power in a way, right? Despite all the protestations and trying to write to the governor general and doing this and doing that, which I think are valid things to do, it's still she still has to consult with him. Like he still is in power right now because he's still the guy. Maybe he can't really pass an emergencies act and things like that, but he's still there in the ether. It's not like he's stepping down and going away. But I mean, for the narcissist that I believe that he is, and sort of the lack of personal responsibility and accountability for all the things that were done, he did at least resign, or at least he said the words. I mean, but he's still there, you know. And all I can say is, when I think about all those press conferences, all those COVID press conferences, all the things that people that were done, and just to society, with all the things that I don't have to mention that everybody knows, the horses, the way the police looked, how people were like attacking people for not wearing masks, how society was divided and arguing and bitter to one another, and how awful people were, and the vaccine passports, and booster, get your booster, and all the stupid things we did. And and it's ludicrous to even think they could manufacture that much, those needles alone, and the packaging. You think you can get all that ready times 8 for every man, woman, and child in Canada, 40 million people. So you can have 8 for each ready to go in production. It's like me telling someone, I need you to build 1,000 houses by next month. You can't do it. It's a physical improbability. So for anyone that doesn't sort of get that this was all kind of in the works beforehand, I don't know how you like show your face after doing all that to citizens and just keep forging ahead in your own sort of you sort of in your own sort of like delusion. That's what I didn't like about him. And when I think of the you can't get on a plane and all the things that that he was saying, I will never forgive him for that, and he's not asking for my forgiveness. And I will never forgive Global News ever for the way we reported to the public, for what we did, for how I still have to bite my tongue. Nowadays, I don't even, but bite my tongue in certain social situations because you can't say anything that might even offend somebody about a Maxine. You know, I don't know. I'm fed up. I'm just fed up, and there's no apology for all the pain and suffering, and that's how I feel. And the pain and suffering that was sort of sanctioned by news, because we never knew. A lot of us didn't know that the news would even be capable of doing this to people. You hear something on the news and you take it that, well, these are the facts. Until little did we know, geez, we've been lying about a lot of things and we didn't even know. Our own employees were deceived by things and they didn't know. They were all in their own ignorance. They're still ignorant about why people die. Like they can't figure it out at this point where they die suddenly. They just can't figure it out, even at this point. And so with all the bailout money and all what management was doing at Global and all the things that we didn't tell you that you've come to know on your own, I will not miss this man or his face, and he should just move somewhere, move to an island and just stay there. I do want to show you Michael Schellenberger. It made me feel good when I was reading it today. He says, Trudeau spread disinformation to persecute his critics. He froze their bank accounts. He demanded censorship. We have to talk about the malignant narcissism of Justin Trudeau. This narcissism thing that I'm on is catching on. Everybody is talking about it now. Everybody's saying it, not because of me, but I don't know. Justin Trudeau says he's deeply compassionate, but he's not. He smeared ordinary Canadians as Nazis. He froze the bank accounts of critics of his COVID policies, and he spread disinformation while demanding censorship. It's time to talk about the malignant narcissism of Justin Trudeau. Here they have he goes on to talk about Yaroslav Hanka, the Nazi, the 98-year-old Nazi they brought into the House of Commons. Galaxy Brain helped uncover proof that his government used fake intelligence to illegally frame protesting truckers as violent extremists. That's true. The news helped with that too. Trudeau claimed a new hate speech law that was required to protect children. It wasn't. Harming children was already illegal. Trudeau's government confirmed to the public that the law would allow judges to send people to prison for speech crimes. Trudeau was a key figure in the totalitarian push by politicians in the US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Scotland, Brazil, and the EU to create a fake hate panic in order to censor and interfere in elections and incarcerate their critics. And then look at this. I just want to. Ooh!
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love in all of us common. We've got hearts from far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God,
This is what you do to peaceful protest.
glorious and free. Oh, Canada.
Like, do you get it when you see this stuff? We did not want to take that bullshit. That's how badly we didn't want to, that people stood in the Canadian cold for that. And this is the thanks they got from that prime minister.
We stand on guard for thee.
Yeah, because that's how you treat a man in his pajamas, a senior.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
You stand on guard. I will never forget that time. I will never forget this time in my life as long as I live. I'll never forget this time, and no one will ever forget this and what everyone went through, except for the people that didn't know in the first place.